And welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings. Oh, it feels good to be back. It's been a long old week and I'm so excited to be back here with SpeedForce Racing. If you can't tell, I'm trying to drag this out a little bit longer because I don't actually have the standings up on my phone right now. Whoops. So, let's have a look because right now, that is Australia. So, oops, I'm going to have to see if I've got the standings in the chat. Do apologise for a little bit. I have actually just got out the shower. So, you know, I'm going to be a little bit damp all the way through this one. As my phone suddenly gives up on working. There we go. Right. Let's see if I can find the standings in here. Because there's been a lot of news in SFR. Lots of things that we have to say goodbye to. Because unfortunately right now we have to say goodbye to a Ferrari driver. The Ferrari driver is Dudden Sands, sorry. He's had to depart SFR due to starting a new job. Which is unfortunate. We wish him well in the world of work. Unlike me, where I sit here and play racing games and go to college every day. Oops. So, we will attempt to go through the standings in a second because my phone really is not happy with me tonight. I do apologise for the lack of structure right now in my commentary. I'm on my own tonight, all on my own, all on my lonesome. So, we shall see what these races can provide. Let's see, where are the standings? There they are. I've got them. Morning, comms. No, it ain't morning for me. Okay, so here are the standings. Because in P1 is Primeval Rex after 2 straight podiums ahead of Connor, who has got 2 fastest laps to his name in P2. Then Alison Senegal is in P3 and Dr. Special Energy is in P4. Hegluth is in P5. Impressive for the rookie. Jorgs is in P6 and C-Passy is in P7. Ryan Van Doom is in P8 and Blentans, who has since departed from Ferrari, is in P9. Meat Soldier is in P10. Sigurd is in P11, and Aspheric is in P12. Racing Pod is in P13, and Pro Oliver is in P14. Psychomich is in P15, and Alco and Oima are in P16 and P17. Luke Beck is in P18, and Collins is in P19. Now we have one spare Williams seat. But it's all here because we have a new driver tonight, JB Ogan. So I should call him Ogan. Who has taken over my name, has joined us. Welcome to JB Ogan. But before we talk about him, let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship, because right now, by a blistering lead of 1 point, Primeval Rex's Toro Rosso team is in P1 ahead of Mercedes in P2. Renault is in P3 and Haas is in P4. Racing Point is in P5 and Alfa Romeo is in P6. Ferrari is in P7 and Williams is in P8. Red Bull is in P9 and McLaren struggling to get off the line in P10. But yes, it's all been a little bit of change here at SFR. We have said goodbye to a few different people, said hello to a few other people, and to a new Ferrari driver. Meaty Soldier has joined the Ferrari team from the Williams team mid-season, and he is actually coming out on track, I believe, right now. No, he's not. His teammate Racing Podgers. So we shall see. Collins is the first man on track here in China. So we're here at the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's going to be really fun to see what strategy that can dictate here in Shanghai. This track, obviously very difficult. This track's more favoured than I had at Mexico. This had my best finish for myself, because I'm obviously very focused on myself. This had the best finish of my Season 2 career in the Haas of the P4, and then I didn't finish the rest of the races, which was really annoying. But yeah, so Collins, first man on track in the Alfa Romeo, showing what that car can do. I've got to really limit the water I use today, because I've not got much with me, but it's nice and cold. Alright, so, how are we all doing? Xander leaving the session. What car does Xander drive again? Xander is in the Williams, I want to say. No, what? Did he join late then? Or am I not reading the names right? I think he joined late, which is unfortunate, but still. So Collins in P1, well, going to be the first man on track. Let's have a look where's Sigurd. He's coming through here now, so I assume Sigurd is second. We'll have a look. Oh, no, don't do that. Have a look, but yes, what can the Alfa Romeo do on their turf here in China? This Grand Prix, obviously a cracking Grand Prix as Xander rejoins us, but 20 drivers, meaning that he has not got space, and a commentary position filled by our dear friend Lee, who is sat there in spectator mode. Thank you, Lee, race director for SFR. An all-round lovely chap. So, this is China, the Shanghai International Circuit. Don't know what the Chinese symbol means, but, you know, up through turn 1. This long corner, the apex is somewhere there. Look, Collins will show us, it's there. Then there's turn 2, getting it all nice and wide into there. Look at that, brilliant from Collins, getting it all square into the first couple of corners. Now into Daniel Ricciardo dive bomb sector. Should see a few down here tonight, and up into sector 2. We'll have the first line here, and there is traffic on the line for the Alfa Romeo. Who is it? It looks like a Williams, and it's JB Ogan. Oh, there's almost contact as JB was looking at his mirrors. But Collins not phased as he coming through towards where Lance Stroll span. No, wait, sorry, where Lance Stroll crashed out in his first race, and Valtteri Bottas span in 2017. Now up into the dangerous corner where Max Verstappen starts to lose his car. This is all branding, no seats up here, and oh, Collins very wide. Has that advanced his lap? No, it hasn't. Collins arguably fighting that Alfa Romeo as best he can. Apparently Xander's in the Alfa Romeo. Oh, he is in the Alfa Romeo. I do apologise for that. Now down towards the hairpin. Oh, that's a definite cut there. Collins cutting the corner just where we saw Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel make contact. And obviously, that was also the corner where we saw Sebastian Buemi's wheels depart his car. But an invalidated lap has put Collins on the back foot in his first runs here. There is a car, I think that's JB, ahead of Sigurd. And Sigurd coming through the corner, not wanting to make contact with Ferrari. Now, Xander again leaving the session. Is his connection struggling tonight, is it? As I lose the chat on my tablet, hopefully I can get that back. But now Sigurd up into the first lap, and it is a set lap time of 1:33.8. That's the first race. Where's the championship leader coming up through the ranks now, trying to get his first lap in? He loves this track. Racing Pod second on the medium tyres. What can Rory Rex do? He's just starting his lap with Hegloof right behind him, giving his teammate a nice tow. Hegloof actually goes P1 on that time, but Blas MK stealing that away by 2 seconds. What a lap from Blas MK in the Williams, showing that Williams car is absolutely brilliant. Here's Luke Beck trying to get see what the Racing Point can do. Riding up on that curve heavily. I think he's invalidated using that curve. And then not getting out of the way of the Alfa Romeo. I think that's of Collins himself, actually, yeah. So back with Collins now, draining his car for the VRS. Let's see what that car can do. Remember, he's already done one lap on these tyres and it wasn't invalidated. He's got to make sure he doesn't turn in too sharply into this hairpin, break it 100 metre board slightly afterwards. Get it all down, so burst the throttle. That might have just been because he broke too early. Now up towards the final corner now. Is he going to bail into pit lane? He does not. He goes around for another tour on these tyres. DRS opening now where Giovinazzi crashed in 2017. P4 for Collins. He'll be frustrated with that lap time. But oh boy, JB Ogan now. See what the Williams driver can do. Getting all sorts of wrong in the hairpin. Easily done. Even more wrong. Almost doing a JB there. And crashing into the wall. But he's okay. He's got the time on him. And he'll be able to set this lap time and go for another with the new boy here. The young driver goes into P11 on his lap time. So happy with that. Where is Oliver? Oliver now coming round turns 1 and 2. Lee Carroll saying that the Ultras, this is the race director, saying that the Ultras are the wrong tyres to be on around this track. So the drivers will have to possibly change their strategy if they're listening to the race director. I personally wouldn't. He's a bit of a fool. But you know, I love him. Love you, Lee. I've got to be nice. He employs me. Let's see what we can do. Here's Meaty Soldier, the first run out in the Ferrari. I actually know that he's driven this Ferrari many times in other leagues, but this is his first time in SFR driving a Ferrari. So he's looking nice and happy. I think he's back at home in the Scuderia, and they'll see what they can do. Oh, big moment though on the rear end as he gets a bout of oversteer heading towards the wall, but he captures it nicely. Still 4 attempts up on his time is the Soldier from the UK. What can the number 99 car do? It's not Giovinazzi in that car, it is just Meaty Soldier. DRS going to pop open in a second. Now? Yes! I'm getting good at timing those. Currently in P10 on the soft tyres is Meaty Soldier. Now coming down into the hairpin. Want to show the new boys how it's like. Getting a little bit wrong. Doesn't want to show the new boys how to take the hairpin then. But still, Ryan Von Doom, our favourite supervillain, goes up into P2 in his Mercedes. DRS open as he crosses the line and Meaty Soldier just down by 3 tenths after making an excursion at the hairpin. Here's Gogs. What can the 96 do? Struggling to get to grips with this car quite heavily is Grogs right now. We'll see what he can do. The Scotsman, I believe he's Scottish, coming up and round. Looking comfortable in his car. Now, we know for a fact that last week, Connor Satchel's race winner messaged me later on saying that he was going to change his helmet, so everyone knows, and I'm going to be happy about that one. Yeah, I don't much appreciate what Lee said on his Facebook page about that, but you know, what the viewers can't know that, so I won't mention it. Alright, so Gogs now getting ready to end his lap time on the medium tyres. He's going to be slightly down due to it being the harder compound tyres. Crossing the line only goes P15, only just, well, quite a margin quicker than his teammates. Here's Alco, the struggling Ferraris. Look at the toe he's getting off Luke Beck. I think that's just down to substance there. I wouldn't say they were cheating, but there, the 23 car struggling to get off the line, struggling to adapt to that McLaren. Alco and Oymer up in P7. Lee saying if you got to put that. Now Alco across the line. What can the soft runner do? P6. What a run there for the McLaren. McLaren feeling very confident here in China. So championship leader, is he on an in-lap? He's on an in-lap by the looks of those throttle inputs. Let's see. Who can we see? We know that Xander isn't doing a qualifying lap due to the connection issue. Let's have a look. I don't want to look at Collins again. And Seagull's on an out lap. I've looked at lots of these drivers before. Tonight. Dr. Special Energy in pit lane are one of our podium sitters from race 1. And I think the Toro Rossos favouring themselves, trying to get up there and have some fun. And we know that we do know that Primary Rex has got some more speed in his car than that. He's done 2 laps on the medium tyres, and we're currently on board with Alco. What can the McLaren get up to? We saw him at the end of his lap last time, but let's see what this McLaren can do with the shadow on the back of the car. Yeah, arguably, though, I think that year when they did one papaya, and when they did the papaya with the shadow, I think they should have applied and had the livery changed to one papaya and cobalt blue, and the other one swapped to cobalt blue with papaya highlights. Actually, that brings me on to something. Lee, just to give you a little bit of insight, because Lee's an older gentleman. With it being the 1000th Grand Prix this weekend, the next Grand Prix weekend of Formula 1, they're allowing teams to select older liveries to run on their cars as Alco's hit the barrier, and Alco crashing his way into the barrier, no DRS sign left, and he's going to feel very sheepish there as the Portuguese driver, as he manages to survive though, and he stays off the track though, because these tyres are wrecked anyway, but he stays off the track. But yes, teams now in real Formula 1 will be able to select older liveries to put on their cars, his Sigurd, for the 1000th Grand Prix. So the question is McLaren going to run Marlboro or a chromed up livery like they ran in 2008 onwards, or Williams could be also there. Yeah, Williams could be Rothmans. Williams could be the Camel livery. Can you imagine if Red Bull did the full testing can livery? I'd love it if Red Bull did a Stewart livery, to be honest. Ferrari, well, they really either they can go red or they should go the blue they ran when Enzo Ferrari was feeling very mean. But now let's see what Seagull can do. Back to SpeedForce Racing, bailing into pit lane. We'll take you through the pit lane here because this is where we saw Jenson Button get overtaken by Sebastian Vettel in the pit lane here, literally overtaken. And look at that, Seagull driving us into pit lane, showing us how difficult that pit lane is. We saw this is where Lewis Hamilton lost the championship in 2007. Careful, because we'll see a little motion from Lee in a minute. Bet the Ferrari will be red. Oh, Ferrari red as Steve Pasley gets it all wrong. The Irishman, who had an excursion off the GP2 last week, struggling to get the car back on track, trying to find a bit of that isn't grass. And what a well done there from Steve Pasley, knowing where the Renault is strong, and that is trying to find grass. Here's Racing Pods, the Swedish driver, running a nice Marcus Ericsson-esque helmet there. He breaks down into Daniel Ricciardo corner, gets it a little bit wrong. What can the Ferrari do? Has that been validated for the 66? It's funny because Ferrari originally had Racing Pods in their team, and now is it wrong? Racing Pods into barrier. Is that out? No, he's still going in qualifying, but that might mean that his session's over with 5 minutes to go on the clock. The Ferrari struggling tonight. Yeah, Daniel, very good shout there with Renault being blue and yellow. I think, to be fair, they will do that one, rather than the white and yellow one they had back when they first started Formula 1. Here's Oymer in the McLaren. Is he pitting? No, he's just starting a lap there. Yes, Lee saying big if Racing Point did a Jordan-esque livery. I'm surprised they didn't talk to Eddie Jordan and ask if they could take their name back. But who knows? Oyma now coming through the first couple of corners. McLaren looking incredibly stable. We know their top 10 worthiness tonight is there. They've struggled the first couple of rounds. Maybe tonight is a night where McLaren will have some points on the board. And Connor Satchel still in pit lane, last week's race winner. Not wanting to show off his new helmet as of yet, sat there in P20. Xander, we know, won't be saying at that time. Sajkovic either retiring or with terminal damage, and actually Oyma has invalidated the lap as well in P8. Where is someone on a lap? Let's have a look at JB Oga, the new boy. Trying to get the power down in his Williams. This car is not the easiest to drive, but he's going to try and do it. No, look at that, a little bit hesitant on entry, turning in almost too early. Starting his lap now, crossing the line. Following his teammate here, who's Baz MK, currently sat in P1. Let's have a look at that driver. What can Baz do? At least saying that Toro Rosso might go for their original livery. I think that's a good shout, with it being like the Red Bull-esque, with the sort of more muscular bull that they had back then. I'd love it if like Red Bull did Stewart or a Jaguar-esque livery, but obviously they got to then get the sponsors again or talk to them about it. It's going to be so cool. I can't wait to see all the renders come out. Alfa Romeo, I think Alfa Romeo probably. Oh, Alfa Romeo could go back to doing that when they were Brabham Alfa Romeo, when they had when they were like red with like blue stripes on. They could do that when Niki Lauda was part of that team and Charlie Whiting, God rest his soul. Now Blas MK, current pole sitter, coming up through onto the back straight. What can he do as he just slides his car a little bit in the rear end? Now hunting after who's that ahead of him? That's an Alfa Romeo, I assume, of Collins. For a distance, Luke Beck going up to P3 in the Racing Point. What can he do? Looking excited on the alternate strategy. This is going to get very interesting towards the end of the Grand Prix. And there you see JB again going wide. Not me, it is an Alfa Romeo, and that is Collins pulling into pit lane. And to stay with Blas MK. Blas MK though getting it wrong. Drivers barely in pit lane, not sure what they're doing now, but JB improves past BT Soldier. So feeling happy with that Williams that time. Look who's on a lap now. It's Connor Satchel, who's running a Mercedes helmet finally, with the grey at the front. Oh, he's always made contact. Well, he was on the course to make contact, but he had to lift off the throttle to get the car to work, sorry. But finally running a Mercedes-esque helmet with the black on the top to match the halo, the turquoise lines to match the Petronas lines, and then the grey, the gunmetal grey that is the Mercedes that year. I do prefer this year's car. What if Mercedes did a Brawn livery? Just have a moment there to just know that if they did that, I would be extremely tired, because I do like that livery quite heavily, if anyone doesn't know. But last week's race winner on the ultra soft tyres now, trying to say his one and only qualifying lap time. He might get another one in. Dancing that Mercedes through the corners. No, that was suck, says Lee. What, best leave Brawn how they are? What would Luke do? They've had the same livery since they joined Formula 1, basically. Unless they did like one of the retro cars, you know? Unless they did a retro car. But now what can Connor Satchel do? Last week's race winner, as I said, trying to get the lap in. He's got time for another lap. He's got the power. He goes P1 by a margin and a half. Well, look at that. And his teammate in P2, Ryan Von Doom, our favourite supervillain, the 99 car. So, lots of 99s here. I find that really interesting. What if Giovinazzi fans, or they just like it? Breaking down into the final corner is Ryan. What can he do with the all grey helmet as he gets it all ready to turn in? It's not gonna be quicker than his teammate. It's gonna be right there though. Oh no, it's not. It's a restart lap, so he's had to abandon it. 4 seconds down. What can Ryan Von Doom do from P3? Dr. Special Energy doing his best to for P4. Here's Hegloof. Hegloof is out. I think he's not going to set a lap time. Same with Luke Beck. Where's Alsan Senegal? 3 seconds down on his first lap. What can the Renault man do? Collins retiring in P7, almost a missing defeat. Oyma being pushed down by Alsan into P11. And right now, Private Rex feeling, I think, the pressure right now as qualifying is now over. These are your only laps you can do. And Xander rejoins us. The number 4, Alsan Senegal, is currently on screen right now as he tries to get it through in the Renault. He's down on ERS. This could be difficult for him to actually improve on this lap time. He is 3 tenths down, though, in this sector. What can the number 4 car do? No, it's not Lando Norris because he's not in the McLaren, but it is Alsan Senegal. Pushing as hard as he can. Look at that, the minuscule ERS. He's only got 5%. He's going to drop down to 4%. He's going to 3%. He's not going to have enough to carry him across the line. Oh, there it is. He's derating down the straights. He's got no electrical power. Braking hard, trying to get some back into his battery now as he gets up around. Racing Podge going P4, sorry. The Primeval Rex going out to P7, looking very handy in his Toro Rosso, starting next to his teammate, DRS open. What can Alsan do? Alsan goes P8, splitting the Toro Rossos. Ow, and it's dismay. 4C Pasley out in the gravel. Damage on his Renault. What could have been for the Irishman? Here's Blas MK though. What can he do? Is he going to rival Connor Satchel? Is he going to get involved? DRS open, crossing the line. He does! He pips Connor Satchel right at the end. Blas MK is in P1 for tonight's race. What a qualifying session. What a bit of fun there. Blas MK comfortably ahead. I don't know what the gap was actually, so get some nice shots for him. There we go. If he wants to take a screenshot, that's a good one. So let's have a look at the gap there. The gap to the leader was... very close. But then a bridge and a half between them and... Oh, taking out a car. But that was the AI before you say anything. But that's a bridge and a half between Connor Satchel and Ryan Van Doom, the 2 Mercedes teammates taking up second and third. We'll see what happens in the turn 1 here in China. What a race. I'm so excited for this race. I love China. It's such a good track. Because my cat is currently blocking the stream from me, so I can't see it. Thank you. Hello, darling. Blas MK confirmed to be pole sitter tonight in SFR round 3. But this is not only round 3. There is going to be a video popping up later on in the channel. I am yet to record it, explaining the new calendar in SFR. We have received the new calendar after talks with several different circuit staffs and everything. It's all okay. But here we are. P1 is Blas MK ahead of Connor Satchel in P2, last week's winner, and Ryan Van Doom makes up P3. Racing Podge is in P4 and Dr. Speciality is P5. Luke Beck is in P6 and the Primeval Rex, Alex, as our championship leader, is in P7. Alsan Senegal is in P8 and Hegloof is in P9. Collins brings up the top 10. These tyres will start on their tyres as I stutter like an absolute fool. But then we'll start on the tyres they qualified on and we'll go through the rest of the grid as we head over to track. But yes, Connor Satchel saying that he's feeling a bit nervous to me. I'm not gonna mention that a lot. I wonder how nervous he is. Luke Beck for the win, says God Colours. That's a fair shout. That is a fair shout, but it is going to be tight. At the top, it was only split. They're only split between 0.027 was the gap between the top. Then Luke Beck and Ryan Van Doom were a further 7 tenths behind. As my cat is very interested. She doesn't talk though on commentary. This one, she's not interested in talking about this. Private Rex are going to win in Toro Rosso. Well, anything can happen here in China, and it will be interesting. This race, obviously, as we saw in qualifying, low grip at this circuit. We saw drivers losing it at the final corner, at the long right-hander. And now let's go through the grid here in China. You hear the car click into position. Do excuse me as my father rings me. I will ignore that. So, As the car clicks into gear, Bazan Cake is away in the formation lap ahead of Connor Satchel, in P1. Ryan Van Doom is in P3, and then Racing Pod is in P4. Dot Speciality is in P5, and Luke Beck is in P6. Primeval Rex is in P7. Alson Senegal is in P8, and Hegloof is in P9, and Collins makes up the top 10. Outside of the top 10, and with B tyre choice, is Pro Oliver in P11, and Alco in P12. Oyema in P13, a real chance for McLaren tonight. Sigard is in P14, and Cipazzi is in P16. JB Ogan is in P16, and Miki Soldier is in P17. Gogs is in P18. Psychomech is in P19. All the way at the back of the grid is Xander. But in all of this, the championship leader has been removed after contact with Primeval Rex on the formation lap. That is going to really annoy Primeval Rex because he's not going to have the warmed up tyres that he hopes he would. It would have been better if they made contact later on in the lap, but right now he's going to have to sit there. Alex is going to have to sit there and wait. But everyone getting ready, and there you go, Connor Satchel waiting as his teammate draws alongside him. A little bit of lag actually coming off Connor by the looks of it. So, the drivers are sat on the grid right now waiting for these guys to come around. Primeval Rex, Alson Senegal, and Xander. Primeval Rex is going to now have to be very gentle on those tyres. They won't be up the temperature whatsoever. He's going to have to really hope that he doesn't make contact with anyone that will ruin his overrun strategy. But here we go, Blazon K. Oh, he's spat. He's wide at the final corner. At the hairpin, sorry. Unsure what has happened there. So, drivers instructed not to talk during the race, but Blazon K leads us in first position, but he's not in first position right now, going through the Ghost of Xander. He's going to drive through all of these cars as they get up onto the grid. He's going to drive through them and get into his P1 slot. Who's ready for 28 laps of racing here in China? I certainly am. We can see what happens here. Don't discount drivers like Hegloof trying to get a good start in his first season in SFR. And we shall see what happens here. Pirelli board lights up. Drivers will be informed that we are going to 5 red lights here in China. Yellow flags are waving. The lights are on. The lights are out. And the drivers are away. Long hold there for the drivers. It might be a lag start for me, but it's away now. It's a good start from Connor Satchel in P2. A bad start, and it's contact in the background. It was a Alfa Romeo hitting the barrier. It looked like to be Collins, but now Connor Satchel into P1. Can his teammate follow through into P2? What can Ryan do? Trying to get his way round to the racing point off the track. There's contact, and now, oh, bigger contact in the background. Racing pod hitting the side of Ryan Van Doom. Carbon fibre flying everywhere, but Ryan shafted down into P3 as he goes chasing after Blazon K. Oyema dropping down a load of positions now after Alson Senegal made contact with someone on the lap. There's contact there. Ryan Van Doom losing parts of his front wing like nobody's business in the background, though. You see a racing pod, Collins trying to defend from Luke Beck. These two have history. Dot Special Energy, trying to defend from Luke Beck. But Ryan's wide. That damage is going to affect him all the way around the track now. There's going to be contact if they're not careful. Very messy start here in China. Sector 2, a yellow flag. I believe that's Oliver. No, it's not. They're all going wide. Their track limit is not an issue for drivers. They're 3 wide into the corner of their heads. And Dr. Special Energy bailing out of it as I go through puberty. And now he's got eyes on P3, locking up for Racing Podge. Everyone's starting through. Psychomich dropping down positions now. Luke Beck losing a position to Racing Podge now as they come down the line. Look at that. 7-10 separating the line. Now, they're all going to smuggle up for position. Who's going for a move where? Are they going to go 3 wide into the final corner? It is Luke Beck down the inside. He has made a move. It's a double overtake on Ryan Van Doom, dropping down to P5. Hegloof down to P13 and drivers fighting their way through. Oh, and Ryan Van Doom's out. What has happened there? I can't get a good angle. Something's happened with Ryan. We'll try and see. Here's the yellow flags. He's gone straight on into the wall. Same with a Ferrari. Off Racing Podge, 2 drivers out. Maybe they made contact, but JB Hogan getting battered around in his first race here at SFR by the main drivers, knowing what they're doing. Now on board with Primeval Rex. No, we're going to look at Pro Oliver as he starts to look at the back of Collins, chasing after everyone here in the top 5, trying to get his way up into everywhere. JB Hogan dropping down another position to Hegloof. So it seems that the rookie driver under pressure as he just seems to be going backwards right now. Here's Alson Senegal chasing after the pack, trying to get into the points. JB wide. JB makes big contact. Outside into the wall. Outside out of the race. I don't know what happened with JB there, but it looks like he was slow off the corner and he was hitting the grass, and that was just, I won't say that's poor driving being a rookie, but it was a mistake and a half. Pro Oliver and Collins fighting out. Collins maybe making a mistake into the long right-hander. Drivers slicing their way through as best they can, and now on board with, who are we going to go on board with? Here's Xander. Oh no, it's going to be a move for Pro Oliver down the inside for the Red Bull. No DRS as of yet. Alco losing a position as well, so gaining a position, but Oliver going too deep, and then Collins getting through. Excuse me. DRS has been labelled, and BlastMK is the fastest man on track, chasing after Collins as best he can, as best he can. Outside leaving the session, there has been a spurt as Dr. Special Energy loses positions like nobody's business. Xander on the back of Gogs, what can he do? Whoa, he's made contact with something. No, he just lost the rear end. Collins losing another position. It looks to be Oliver this time, and Oliver making the move stick this time. And the gap at the top is coming down. Connor, remember, the strategy were called, in the opinion of our race director Lee, saying that he wasn't happy with drivers going on the ultra soft tyres. He would have been more happy if they were going on the soft tyres, because it was more of a race. But it seems the soft tyre drivers are giving us a race, and the ultra soft tyres are just dropping backwards. What can everyone do? Maybe the tyre wear here is going to go completely nuts. Dr. Special Energy on the back of Collins. There's going to be contact if they're not careful. He's running the curve. He lost a little bit of grip, and now he's going to be under pressure from our favourite primeval T-Rex. And there's a big move there. Meteor losing it. Connor Satchel, our race leader, has lagged out the session. He is out of the session. He's got to wait, though, to get back in. If he can, he will be extremely lucky to have this car not dropping down a few positions now. Primary Rex on the back of Special Energy. He's going to try and make the move. He's got a better run now. DRS open on both cars. Dr. Special Energy trying to pick a line. He's going to squeeze Rex to the inside, to the outside. Rex trying to find a move, but he's boxed in by Collins. There's going to be contact if they're not careful. And there, Ryan Van Doom also lagging out. An issue with the Mercedes. There's bigger contact, though, as Connor rejoins now. Dr. Special Energy, Collins though, bailing into pit lane. No love lost between those two. Dr. Special Energy also joining him. Here's Meaty though, he's going to chuck it up the inside for T1. No, he's not. That is a dangerous place to try and make a move into T1. But Connor has dropped down to P5. He'll be ruining that mistake. He's not in the car as of yet. He has joined the session, but there is no big lag as he hasn't joined the session. It looks like Oyman's having a bit of trouble in the background as well. But here is Hegloof getting passed by C. Pasley for P8. Sector 3, the yellow flag's persisting right now. Driver's struggling, I think, on this low grip surface. Racing Podge saying he got wiped out whatsoever. Have you got any footage, Racing Podge? It looks like there may have been contact between Ryan Van Doom and him. Ryan Van Doom, first driver out of the race. Alston Technical, after making contact with JB, also out of the race. Now Connor Central off! Connor is off! Into the grass! He just cannot deal with the pressure tonight. Joining after it, and look at that, McLaren into P3. We've seen this before. McLaren need to have a good race tonight to try and battle on with the championship. But JB under pressure down the inside. Xander aggressively down the inside. Bit of a lag move by the looks of it. He seems to be skating around the track heavily there as he tries to point his car forwards, and he's drifting everywhere. But that Alfa Romeo not enjoying this track surface whatsoever. Where's Sigurd? Down the inside of BlastMK pits of JB Ogan in the Williams. What a move there is JB. JB trying to come back at him though. Where's JB? That's a silly move from JB, to be completely honest. Because Sigurd has lost the position down to making contact with the car. But bigger contact has done the brake test, Sigurd. And Sigurd's not going to be happy. Connor Satchel in the pit lane as well, and drivers all of the Oxford tyres having to make their moves stick. Now Sigurd with damage, big damage on the car. I think Xander needs a little bit of a lesson in racing conduct. He's a little bit laggy, a little bit bumpy right now here in the Alfa Romeo. He joined late. He has no setup on the car due to joining late. Now then inside there is contact again. I don't know how much of this is real or how much of it is lag. I really don't. But I think that he needs a lesson in racecraft, and that's going to be mean for me to say, but I really feel like it. And he just sucks the brake. He says Daniel, Electro Dan taking a move. Still got dropping position down to Blaz MK. Or remember our pole sitter there who struggled to get off the line. Yeah, I don't know, to be completely honest, and I've got to really watch what I say, obviously being on comms, but yeah. Blaz MK now chasing after us, and the gaps have all started to open up just a little bit, so we can have a chat about what's happening. Blaz MK trying to get back into the points. Sector 3, there is a yellow flag. We're in Sector 3 now. What's going to happen? Blaz MK from a long way back, trying to bait Dogs into that, say that he's going to make a move. Dogs Special Energy seems to have lost a few positions as well in that one. Heglu falls into pit lane, the last of the soft runners to pit, and Gogs is under pressure from Blaz MK. DRS open from the pole sitter. What can he do? He's going to try and make the move soon on the Scotsman. He's not going to do it on the outside. Blaz trying to make a gap that isn't there, wider. And there he has made one stick. There is going to be contact there, and he's forced his way through a little bit controversially there, rubbing his car against the sidewall of the car ahead. Now let's see what Xander does this time. 100-meter board braking, he gets it right. Chasing after JB. JB obviously his first race. Lots of sliding though from Xander. He's having to brake mid-corner at paces where they should be flat. Is his setup? Well, obviously he's on the base setup. But I don't like the way that car's moving a lot. I don't like the throttle inputs he's doing much, to be completely honest. I think JB's struggling on throttle inputs as well. Look at the gap he's gained right there. Alfa Romeo versus Williams, a battle which you don't normally see in Formula 1. Right on the back of the Williams now. He's going to be able to change that gear for him on the gearbox. And they're pulling Blaz MK closer and closer as they battle. There's going to be contact. Oh, that looked a bit iffy from JB there. I'd love to see the telemetry on that car. Now we're going to see on DRS who gets the move stuck. Xander trying to make a move. Oh, that's a bit silly from Xander. There is contact with JB out in his race. Xander wiping JB out of the track, and that's going to help everyone out. And the man who made his debut tonight is out. Seagull defensively trying to... Oh, excuse me, as my voice cracks. Seagull defensively trying to make a move, trying to stay away from Psycho Energy. Wow, says Daniel. Yeah, that was wow indeed. That was very silly, if you ask me. Conor Satchel, the fastest man on track. Now Oliver chasing after Alco. What can the Portuguese driver do? Remember, he's been struggling with that McLaren all season long. It's only round 3. We only have a few more rounds left of this revised calendar. I'll reveal that at the end of the stream. And Xander now under pressure from the pole sitter. I'd love to hear the radio right now between the team and that. What is the Alfa Romeo doing? He's moving everywhere across the track. Looks like Lee's made a message. Might mean that the race director might be saying that he wants Xander off the track now. If he does, I can open the would you like me to release the information to the whole grid? Waiting on to confirm from the race director there, saying whether I should open the comms and tell Xander. But he's not in the party. That is it. No, I'm sorry. Oof. Oof indeed. And Blaz MK's not going to be happy either, because this move is going to get very dicey. We saw him wipe out a driver up here. DRS over. Look at Blaz MK giving the biggest, widest move ever, trying to go down the outside. He has made the move stick. What's Xander going to do? Xander bouncing on the brakes, having to move out of the way because he can't get a braking done. That Alfa Romeo struggling heavily, sorry, as I'm stuttering my words a lot more recently. Once again, if you just tell me that, I will open the microphone and tell drivers if they need to do anything. Alco under pressure though. The soft tyres moving their way through the grid. They'll be going to about lap 12 or 13 on this track to try and find a way through. Oliver trying to keep his nose clean. He knows he's got a chance here at the podium. This is all racing for legitimate positions. No blue flags involved whatsoever. Remember, if you ignore a message directly from the race director, Lee Nell, then you are going to be in a bit of trouble with the stewards. Race director stays pretty much the same all the time, all the way through SFR, but the admins still have almost as much power as the race director. We like to have Lee have all the power. DRS open on Oliver. Oliver going to go down the inside of the McLaren. The McLaren trying not to go defensive as the Red Bull gets it all right. But he's going deep because he couldn't get the angle right on the steering. He's going to drop back down to P3. That's unfortunate of Oliver. That was an inspired move for the McLaren, just making it stick. What can Connor Satcher do? He's back in the car. Xander way offline right now as Luke Beck falls into pit lane from the lead. DRS open on the Mercedes as he goes hunting down after the Alfa Romeo. That is lagging like a madman. Connor, master of dive bombs, trying to go round the outside here of the Alfa Romeo. Has it worked? I can't see. Xander. Oh, come. No, no. I'm sorry. If he continues for one more lap round here and staying on board with him, I believe he's going to pit lane. Hopefully that is the catalyst for him to be leaving the session. Now the battle for lead is intensifying here in P1 and 2. Oliver versus Alco. We saw a Red Bull win here last season in Formula 1. And Xander has retired for the session, finally receiving the black flag from the race director. So as I just take a second to gather my thoughts, I'm going to try and swipe away some of the notifications. Sector 1, there is a yellow flag. I'm not sure who that is. That might be Xander's car pulling off. Okay, now Alco. Remember, P1. These drivers have been going onto the medium tyres. That will be a one-stop race. But it'll be interesting to see what these drivers do. Now back on board with Psychomich. Psychomich trying to find his way through. Xander, what? Xander's car's on track still. How is Xander's car still on track? He needs to pull. That car should be pulled off by now. That is not Xander. Okay, the AI has finally pulled him off. Well, I'll tell you what. This headset was very expensive, Golden Duck, and I can't afford to buy another one. So this headset will have to do. And if you have a problem with it, I do apologise. And so yeah, Alco pushing on now in P1 as Oliver tries to make it through. I'd rather really not hear people insult my headset on stream, to be completely honest. This headset was expensive. And now Oliver pushing on as long as he can, trying to get his way into P1. To be fair, Lee, I think there's some of it was like, some of it was genuine poor drivership there as well, but I'm not sure. Thank you for the chat being so active tonight. I actually do enjoy chatting to the chat while I'm streaming this race. But now we're going to see Oliver drop down a little bit from Alco. I think it's time for him to struggle. His struggles are going to continue on in the 32 cars. He needs to enter pit lane. I think he'll be pitting very soon in the race. Now around the outside goes Collins of Gogs. Battling on as he, what an inspired move. Collins, I believe, on a two-stop strategy. Trying to make that work to get higher up the grid. He's going to go chasing after Connor, who's also on a two-stop strategy. Interesting to see the different strategies tonight in SFR. The Psychomix now coming back after Oyma, who's struggling in this chart again, struggling heavily. I don't think that was any form of just trying to get the cart in. But now at the top, I think Oliver's got the pace on Alco right now. I do want to say that. I think Oliver is not being held up by him. I think the mistakes are sort of dragging him back. But Oliver's definitely got the pace tonight, which we have yet to see for a while from Oliver. He's feeling very happy on these soft tyres, isn't he? Oh, there's almost contact. That was a Red Bull. Almost makes contact with the McLaren's rear end. Luke Beck did pit it early. He did pit it early. He did pit early. I think he's done a two-stop strategy now. Let's have a look at the stops. No, Luke has done one stop, so he pitted only 2 laps ago. Christ, that was only 2 laps ago. There's so much action right now. It feels like we're going on forever. Oyma dropping a position now as he gets it all wrong in the hairpin to Psychomich. Now trying to get the power back down in the house, and they're being chased after Dr. Special Energy. And the gap at the top ever closing. as Oliver tries. He needs to lead this race at one point, and that's me saying that as a fan of Oliver. I do like Oliver, he's a lovely chap. DRS open on the Red Bull as he's going to have to make a move now. He's going to go down the inside on the McLaren, this time try and not outbrake himself. He has got the brakes on right, this time cutting over the hairpin, and now Alco going back at him. Again, Alco, the seasoned driver, knowing where drivers are going to make the move. That's the wrong way around, do excuse me. But Oliver making him dive for the pit lane a little bit late there. Going for the undercut strategy on the race leader. What can happen here? Oimer and probably Rex as well into pit lane after doing 11 laps on his tyres, looking comfortable. I said about lap 12 or 13. Now Dr. Special Energy using all of his special energy, which is definitely not Rich Energy, trying to find the move. Actually, that's interesting. Rich Energy apparently has been bought out by Red Bull. So, yeah. But there's a bit of lag coming off Dr. Special Energy's car today. Oh, a lot of lag coming off Dr. Special Energy's car tonight. So I'm not sure what's happening there. So, Sector 3, we have a yellow flag. Dr. Special Energy has retired himself. I'm not sure what that was, whether it done damage. We'll have a look at the race director in a moment, because there's no real battles on track. We'll have a look at that in a second, see who's under investigation for anything. I'm not sure if anybody's put anything into the stewards as of yet. But now Connor Satchel, after lagging out of a session, is currently in P4. He's on a 2-stop strategy, I think. Let me have a look. Yeah, he's 2-stopping. Alco, the only driver not to have pitted in this first runs, I believe. So, no, sorry, Gogs hasn't pitted either. But he's on the medium tyres. So, Alco, what is the race leader going to do? Is he going to pit this lap? He's going to try and make his way around another tour of the track on his worn super soft tyres. Super soft tyres. No, he pulls into pit lane. What can the McLaren mechanics do? It's all down to him. Not my best race, says Jordan. Ah, it's a shame to hear that, mate. You were fighting hard, and it's good to see that you even believe that it was you can announce it wasn't your best race. And now we're going to keep an eye on Alco, because he's going to come out in a bit of pressure now, because Luke Beck is now into P1 ahead of Baz MK, who's in P2. But where's Connor Satchel? Connor Satchel makes the P3, and Oliver jumped him? Oliver has not jumped him. He had a poor outlap by the looks of it, but he's right on the back of McLaren. He's going to have to make the move soon. He's got heated up tyres versus McLaren, who's on colder tyres. Who's going where? Side by side, the battle instantly resumed as Alco drops back in front of him. Pushing hard is Alco in the McLaren, and now Oliver going to go for the dive bomb, Danny Rick style, here into the corner. He's trying to get it right, and he's giving him a lot of room. Respectful there from Oliver. Very well done. Drivers coming through as they're focusing on trying to get everything as of right at this point in time. I'm trying to find my list of tracks. There we go. Just get that ready for later on when I announce where we're going at the end of this race, and then there will be a video added onto the channel later on about why we changed the calendar and everything about it. Drivers pushing hard now. Alco, who's going to heat his tyres up, he will have the pace in a moment. Primary Rex, the championship leader in P6, is in a bit of trouble. He's in a gap. She's a little bit too big for him to start closing in on Oliver and Alco, unless they start monumentally battling like they have been, and he's got a gap behind him. But now Oliver downing inside of Alco, going to go on board with Alco. He has made the move stick finally. Oliver making the move stick, but no, Alco going to come back in it because Oliver going off track, and Oliver just is going to be so frustrated he cannot get this move stick. On board with the Red Bull, what can he do? Trying to find his way through. It's so frustrating for a driver to be stuck behind the same guy all race long. And he has to pace to pass him. It's just the one place that he does pass him, he ends up out breaking himself as under leaving the session. Okay, race director popping in saying that Blas K may need to pit again with the medium tyres. Yeah, we won't be seeing him into pit lane again, but those will probably be for the ultra soft tyres going onto the car straight afterwards. So Alco putting his stamp on as he starts to heat up his tyres, trying to find his way up and past Connor. He's got a 6-second gap between him and Connor. We know that Connor's stopping again, and we know that Groggs is yet to stop. Where is the the Racing Point car? Race director Lee Nell, who is racing tomorrow night. If you want to see what Lee can do, we'll have a chat about that in a second. He's actually in a Red Bull. Hopefully he can pass the McLaren of T. Jonas. And now actually there has been a move finally. And can Oliver get it turned in? Oliver again sailing out a little bit wide. This time he has given the move stick though. And Alco is now on the attacking side. We've seen Oliver attack. It's taken him a while to get through. What can Alco do on attack? DRS opening now on the McLaren. He's right up behind him. He's going to try and pick and choose. He's going down the inside of T1. That will turn into him going wide, and Oliver having to brake, unfortunately getting too close to the back of the car, and he's back in the attacking seat in P5. Drivers discussing in the chat, discussing about tomorrow's race. Obviously, some of them here to support their teammates in the other divisions, others here to see what the tyres can do and see what they're up to in the race, see what they can achieve. It's good for a little pre-season testing here. It looks like we have a yellow flag. I'm going to drop down to Oyma and see who it is. It's not Oyma. So it's someone who's on white. Psychovic may have hit the pit wall. That might have been it, but he's into pit lane. Now, Connor Satchel on the back of Blaz MK. Remember, Connor passed Blaz MK right at the start of the race before lagging out. It is good for Primary Rex as they keep battling. Alex, my co-comms for tomorrow night, looking very handy in his Toro Rosso Honda. But now DRS open on Connor. He's been pushing. He knows he's going to pit again soon. 10 laps on those soft tyres. With all of these guys can manage. He's going to go down the inside. Master dive bombs into the hairpin, sorry. And Blaz MK. And C. Pasley is out in Sector 2. The P11 driver. He's crashed out, and that's unfortunate for the Irishman. And now Blaz MK on the attack. We know that he can pass. I've raced against Blaz MK. I've raced against Connor Satchel as well. We'll see what they can do. And I felt Connor Satchel's dive bombs going at me every 5 minutes. And it is very difficult to respond. Oliver now on the back once more of Alco. There's a bit of a gap now. You pass leaving the session. We shall see what Oliver drivers can do. Oh, there has been a mistake though from Alco. It seems that in the corners, Oliver's much better, I want to say, than Alco. Alco, who just seems to be getting better traction on every corner. Oliver may be struggling with that. Yes, we have someone old, actually 3 old drivers returning to SFR tomorrow night for the GP2 division. You do not want to miss that, and you do not want to miss out the names I'm going to reel off when we get in there, because they are old friends of mine. We haven't seen them in a while, and they've had some great fun. I've actually raced against all 3 of these guys. They're old as in like back season 1 time in SFR, which brings me back to make me feel old. And Lee's been there since like race 1. I mean, still up for Lee. DRS open though on Oliver. What can he do in the Red Bull? Trying to go round the outside of the McLaren. This time he slips back in front of him with the pace. What can he do? Alco again. Oliver just gets in that braking point wrong, and he's just going to frustrate him each time he makes that mistake. And each time it's just killing his tyres. Blaz MK once again trying to find his way past Connor Satchel. There's no way Connor Satchel can hate those soft tyres to the end. He will need to take a look at it. Alco though has lost the position to Oliver, so maybe Alco going in deep this time as he's fighting his McLaren, trying to look for the first points of the season for the team. Most definitely a good battle between Alco and Oliver. Oliver now got to try and run away from the Portuguese driver. What can the Briton do? It's funny because Alco doesn't like Red Bull after they shafted Antonio Felix da Costa off to Formula E. So now Alco's going to try and just pass Red Bull as best he can. He's not a fan of the team, so he's not going to give them any form of room. As he's room. That's the word I'm looking for. As he's trying to find his way past the Red Bull. There's going to be a dive bomb into this corner. I think it's more of an educated pass. He's there alongside each other. He's down the inside And Oliver giving him a lot of room. And he kissed the front wing, sorry, kisses the rear tyre. Now Oliver on the attack once more. But remember, Oliver led for most of that lap, so he's going to have DRS here. I believe he'll have DRS. That would be a killer if he doesn't. He does have DRS. There's the beep. But Connor Satchel has made a mistake. He span! Connor Satchel spins on worn tyres. And Alco once more trying to find his way through, and he has made the move stick on Oliver. Now but it's not done yet. Oliver trying to go down the outside. Connor Satchel continuing on with his very worn tyres. This battle is going to revolve to who's in P3 of the race. And Oliver down the inside, look at that Pro Rex looking for a way through himself. On board with Alco as Oliver goes wide. Oliver's got to find the corner somewhere around here. Oliver leaving lots of gap there. Whoa, almost contact there. Maybe a bit of decent contact as Collins pulls into pit lane. Lap 18 now to 28 here in China. What a race we're having in Shanghai. Driving like samurais with swords they are. Is that Japan? I don't know anymore. I get them all. I always get confused. I know that China's like one of the. I think they're the biggest tech capital in the world, but you know, I think they are. I'm terrible at learning all of these things. But then again, the SO fueled Red Bull trying to find his way up and past him. He's trying to get close to Petrobras' car ahead in the McLaren form. Is just struggling. It's a great turn of speed we've seen from Oliver, because he struggled at the start of the season, and now he's got a great big run. As we see, sorry, I'm going to take a minute just to reboot. Let me just turn the music back on. Connor Satchel is struggling on those soft tyres. I think he'll be pitting soon, and Oliver again trying to pick his moment. He nailed the hairpin that time, and there you see the Mercedes going straight on into pit lane. Connor has pitted. The same with Blaz MK. Two drivers this battle will evolve to second and third on the podium instead of all of that. And now the podium within a reach of Primeval Rex with 10 laps to go. The championship leader is got an eye for the podium. And Oliver spinning! Oliver round! Red Bull just gripping the back of the McLaren, and Primeval Rex into pole position now. Trying to pass the Red Bull on the outside. He has made the move stick, and Oliver, what a disappointing end to that battle, and I think that might have been decent contact there. Let's have a look at Gorg. He's chasing after Heglup. Heglup, who's consistently been in the top 5 of the race, seems to be struggling here in China quite heavily as he skims that grass there. They're both Connor Satchel actually and Blaz MK both going for the soft tyres rather than going for the ultra soft tyres like we assumed they would. They are on the soft tyres, so we'll see what they can do as they've got to make this move stick here in the final stages of this race. Gaps forming everywhere as their drivers are trying to settle on with the new tyres and the old ones, trying to find their way through. Heglup on fresh, soft tyres, got the heat in the car, trying to get his way up and past everyone else. Luke Beck actually falls into pit lane as well. 10 laps of those tyres, he thinks he's done enough. What can the Racing Point crew do? He's got a 15-second gap. Alco just coming through the corner now. He's going to be about P2 or P3. What's Alco up to? That's the word I'm looking for. Move. Now Heglup on the back of Sigurd, he made early contact with another driver, which cost him a loss of his front wing. And now Heglup trying to find his way past the sister team. He's gone wide again. That's just killing his lap time there. Poor Heglup struggling to get that corner right. It's a very difficult hairpin, to be completely honest. You've got to go so slow. What a good catch from Heglup there. I personally would not have been able to catch that car. That car probably would go straight into the wall. Oh, but Heglup, hesitant on entry, has cost him a lot of time to Sigurd, who's struggling himself on those tyres. 14 laps on those tyres. He must be absolutely skating on ice. He'll be careful. He might go down to the carcass if he's not careful, as my cat starts to love my leg. Hello, darling. You're very quiet, aren't you? This one doesn't talk. Oh, down the inside though. Heglup, oh, an aggressive move, which might be frowned upon by other drivers there. Heglup trying to find a way through. Tell you what though, Connor Satchel and Blaz MK strategy might be in a bit of trouble here with Luke Beck ahead. Rex is catching Alco slowly. I think that's down to I don't know. I think Alco might be struggling in this track. Yes, there is a gap forming, but lap 21 out of 28 here. I think, to be honest, probably Rex will be happy with a podium. Championship leader and all. Let's go on board with Grogs. As Blaz MK is the fastest man on the track. No, Connor Satchel is the fastest man on the track. No, Sigurd is now up the inside of Hegloof as Hegloof goes wide. DRS is going to open on, I think it'd be Hegloof's car. Let's have a look. No, it's on Sigurd's car, so he's going to have to give up his go to this time. But Grogs isn't. The Scotsman down the inside, trying to take the crown of Master Dive Bombs. There's been a big mistake though, as Hegloof tries to make a move on Sigurd. And Luke Beck, he's hunting. He wants to make a move on Oliver. We've seen how Oliver defends. It's very well done. But the other Racing Point, one fighting to get into the points, one fighting to get onto the podium. And Rex has not got the gap he wants to Oliver yet. The race is far from done here in China. And we'll see what other mysteries this ancient track has yet to reveal to us. I love this track. Not as much as I love Silverstone, don't worry. Luke Beck now with the extra traction already on the attack. He's going to get this move done soon. DRS open. This should be a pretty simple move for the Racing Point. He's not got much ERS left though. So it might be master of the dive bombs time for Luke Beck. Down the inside, 100-meter board. He is there. It is a bit of an aggressive move on the inside though. Look at that, Oliver getting better traction on the way out on the harder compound tyres, the more worn compound tyres. And Luke Beck just going for a dive bomb a little bit too early in the battle. Luke Beck also looking for first points of the season, I believe, as he's hunting down Oliver. What a way to do it on the podium. It'd be lovely to hear him speak at the end of the race. He is making a move stick. There's a tag. There is a bump and a bash, but he is through into P3. Oliver is going to try and come back at him. Primeval Rex, a big jump in power as he's now hunting after the McLaren. Oliver struggling on those tyres as they start to get towards the more dirty, worn side of the tyres. Trying to find any form of movement from any of these drivers. 6 tenths, I think, to be honest, if Hegloof gets any time penalty at this point, if Primeval Rex was smart, he's let Luke Beck through. He knows he's got the buffer, he knows he can defend from Oliver, but he's got to decide when he makes the move. If he pits now, he's going to be in a bit of trouble, but Luke Beck is not going to give it up. These two had contact in race 1 in Australia. Oliver with a time penalty. We shall see what happens. Remember, we have other drivers squabbling for position as well. But Luke Beck coming out in a perfect position with DRS. He's going to have to make a move on Primeval Rex this time. DRS open on the Racing Point, trying to find his way through. He's going to chuck it up the inside. He is going to try it up the inside. Pulling out of the slipstream, and he has made the move stick. I think Primeval Rex smartly letting him through, and he has the gap to Oliver. He has just under a second to him. We'll go dead towards the end. Apparently, yes, drivers are going to be fighting towards the end. It'd be interesting to see what they can do. 3 tenths separating Hegloof, who's still trying to get into P9. He's battling with this guy heavily. Sigurd just can't make the move stick. Sorry, Hegloof can't make the move stick. Move on with Oliver, who's fighting for the podium now, fighting for his first podium in SFR, trying to find his way through. I think he'll have to resign himself to the fact that maybe not. Let's go back on with Grogs. Yeah, okay, I think Hegloof is getting a little bit aggressive tonight, and it has cost him a few positions as he tries to pull back on track. And Blaz MK being pulled into the fight now as Oliver and Primeval Rex start fighting heavily. I think their tyres are done, and it'll be interesting to see which one of them gets on the podium, if either of them at all, because the gap at the top is coming down. Drivers fighting their absolute fury through there. Blaz MK on the back of Oliver. This will be a decisive move for the Grand Prix here. But at the top, a more decisive move, and Luke Beck down the inside of the McLaren, trying to find his way past Alco. These two racing over heavily. There's bigger contact there, as Alco doesn't let him through. There's carbon fibre flying. Was out Blaz MK's car, most probably. And now, you see, Luke Beck, he's done full attack. He's released every form of that BWT water in the back of the car to get the power down and get past him. He's going up the inside of the 23. 23 dropping down another position. Now Blaz MK trying to duck up the inside of Oliver, ducking and diving his way through. Oliver's going to try and turn in. There's going to be contact if they're not careful. Alco back into P1. What a battle is going on in this race. The podium is not sorted and I don't know what to say. That's okay, trying to get past Private Rex. Private Rex goes to the track, he won't give it up easy, and Private Rex drops to make a move for the corner soon. That is him knocked off the podium, but he's not done. Because remember, Alco has done 11 laps with his tyres as well. They're battling hard. Connor Satchel now making a move on Oliver now. And all Oliver wants to do at this point is finish. Puncture territory might be getting close to at this point as I turn into Yoda. And now you see them calming down, trying to make the tactical moves, and Primal Rex looking for P4. Got Special Energy leaving the session after his earlier on collision. We've got 13 drivers out of 20 here, and now Luke Beck once more trying to assault the back of the McLaren. I think it's going to be very similar to what's happening. He's a little bit farther back than I'd like. I don't think he'll make a move here. Yeah, it's a little bit too far back. But he's staying with Connor Satchel trying to make a move. And the brake's so much closer now. And Luke just cannot get the power down, trying to get on the back of him. Where's Primeval Rex? Oh, down the inside, he's knocked him off. And Connor Satchel's lucky. And there, Primeval Rex is giving him another love tap there. Little weave there from Connor Satchel. And the arrogance of saying thank you on the track. And now Rex is going to not give it up. He's not going to be happy about that. I think, to be fair, there's bigger contact. Alco trying to spin Luke Beck round. Drivers turning into Dodgems suddenly in the Formula 1 cars. I think Primary Rex's tyres are well and truly cooked. Now Blazem K is being drawn into it. He's still there for a race win. Luke Beck, though, is ahead of Alco. Alco trying to find anything that McLaren has left to pass the racing points. We still have 3 laps to go, and this is madness. Grogs now trying to make a move on Sigurd, as I spend most of the time now on T-camera rather than broadcast camera, because I just want to see what drivers are looking at now. Grogs trying to find his way round the outside. It isn't happening. Blaz MK though on the run. Now goes eyes on Alco. Maybe the wrong strategy has been called. Maybe the 2-stop was better than the 1-stop. Luke Beck defensive. Blaz MK trying to find a way through. Look at that, the weaving across the track might be distracting for Blaz MK. He's trying to find his way through to try and find the breaking point. And Alco once more on the attack. I wouldn't count your chickens yet. The race is still going here in China. Lap 26 out of 28. The penultimate lap of the race. And Alco is closing. But on these tyres for 13 laps has the McLaren, and he's trying to find his way to get into P1. He's been in there for so long, he doesn't want to give up this win whatsoever. I'm going to have to take a drink, do excuse me. I think Alco's tyres are cooked. I think there's a struggle there if Alco's going to actually stay on the podium. Because Connor Satchel's on the closing as well. Grog's losing a position to Sigurd on the tower. Can't look at that right now because the gap at the top is still closing. Going to actually jump down quickly. Yeah, there we go. Sigurd actually getting back past Grogs in the final couple of corners. And there's a 1.0 second gap. And that will not protect Alco anymore. DRS is not going to protect him anymore on the track. You hear the buzz of that Mercedes as it starts to get closer and closer to the other Mercedes car of Blaz MK. But Blaz MK driving the Williams with the Mercedes power in the back. DRS is going to open in a second. There's the line. And this should be a pretty simple move for the driver. Look at that. Round the outside. Alco just going backwards. Alco won't want to get at the podium though. To Connor Satchel. Oh, there's almost contact. Look at that. Alco with a stop and go penalty that will determine the race if there's not further contact. So now, Alco, trying to get on the back of Blaz MK, trying to find any form of give from the tyres left. He's not got anything left. I think that we're approaching puncture territory for some of these drivers, and I think Pro Oliver is going to be close to them as well. Same with Primary Rex. Penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Is there a mistake? Oh no, sorry, they're passing Eumer in the McLaren. They're lapping him finally. It's taken them a while to get there. That penalty was harsh, yes. I mean, would the race director, if the race director was here, Lee, would he... Oh, and there's been a little bit of contact there between Sigurd and... Well, there's a lot more contact there as they make as they bump and bash their way through. Would the race director be inclined to removing that penalty if Alco was to ask? But Alco's still there. That 5 second stop again penalty will convert to a 10-second penalty at the end of the race, I believe. And he'll drop down, way down, into, I think, P6. Sigurd on the back of Grog still. This battle continuing on. These two have been battling on for ages, and unfortunately Hegluf has been dropped from this battle as well. So our race leader right now is Luke Beck. He's coming on towards the final lap of the Grand Prix. Luke Beck starting 4th. Felt very happy with the car. Now coming through the final corner, powering up into the final lap of the Grand Prix. One more tour of this event, and Connor Satchel very wide in the background as he's trying to close in on Alco. He knows he has a penalty. He knows it, and he's got to make it stick soon. But recall, any form of contact here, if one driver goes off too wide getting a penalty, one driver goes off and crashes into the other one, then Primary Rex in P5 will be the first one to pounce. But Connor right on the back of him, trying to find a way through, master the dive bombs, this time going for a dive bomb in a very opportune place, and Alco going to be upset about that. There's going to be a lot of movement there, and Alco's got to make the move now, back on him in a second, but the race is still not done at the top. If they're not lucky, they're going to make contact. There is no contact there, and Blazon K is closing in on Luke Beck. The race is not over. It's whoever has the least penalties at this point of the track. Only a few more overtaking points as we're going to go on to Blazon K's camera angle. And Connor Satchel into P3. I think that might just be a good move there from him. What can... No! Alco back ahead of him! Blazon K losing a lot of grip there. Alco is ahead of the McLaren. That's the Mercedes, sorry. But I think Luke Beck has done enough. But right now, Connor Satchel mastered the dive bomb. Is going to try and chuck it on the inside. He's a long way back. Last do or die move. And the do or die move, is it going to work? It's not going to work. He's going to make contact. There is a big contact there. He's bumped the driver off. I think he should hand back that position there, if you ask me. But Luke Beck finally wins in SFR. Blazon K P3, P2. But Connor Satchel on the road finishes P4. Alco gets P5, hits P3, and the championship leader comes home in P5. What a good showing there from Primeval Rex. The race still not done. Collins trying to come up and down the inside of VT Soldier. His first run for Ferrari is VT Soldier. That's Grog's wrong way round, sorry. And the 99 just cannot get the traction down. Collins will finish a respectable P7, but there he is. Luke Beck is in P1 here tonight, ahead of... Okay, maybe not take that camera angle, because to be honest, that was pretty much... That was similar to some of Connor's driving tonight. But Blazon K in P2 and Alco is in P3. What a run there. Yeah, Gold Connors getting the award for winning, for saying who won what, who's going to win what, and driving is still finishing right now. Hegluf comes home in P11. First time out of the points tonight, and Blazon K leaving the session. Guess we won't be talking to him at the end of the race then. Excuse me as I'm drinking. Oh, I actually wrecked my voice that time. I wonder what Connor's penalties are going to say. So P1 for Luke Beck here in China. Winner, finally, and setting some points for the team. Celebrating hard, Blazon K P2 and then Alco P3. Champagne flowing on the podium tonight And it's all for Luke Beck and Force India. Sorry, Racing Point, the Stroll Consortium, happily seeing their driver at the top. Let's have a look at the results, barring any stewards' investigations. Once it all clips in, get rid of my rewards. I want to see that. Because Luke Beck in P1 ahead of Blazon K in P2, Alco in P3, and Connor Satchel in P4, though without a penalty. That might be questionable. Prairie Rex is in P5, Oliver is in P6 after a really strong battle. Collins is in P7, Meteor Soldier in his first race for Ferrari in P8, and Gogs is in P9. The final point being handed to Sigurd in the Red Bull. Outside of the points was Hegloof in P11, Psychovic in P12, and Oyma in P13. Drivers who did not manage to finish the race are C. Pasley, Dr. Special Energy, Xander, JB Ogan, Alson Senegal, Racing Podge, and Ryan Van Dorn, who unfortunately could not complete it. Luke Beck actually winning the race from P6. So what a run there. Shall we have a chat with them? Let's have a chat. We're going to get the drivers in a second. I will have to do it in a certain way. I just remembered I don't actually have a party over tonight. I wonder why I ever said that. Alright, so let's get it all in. We'll try and see if we can invite Luke Beck. Yep, invite is going out now to Luke Beck. Do excuse us if we go blue. We will invite Alco as well, due to him being on the podium. There will be probably questions of why he was on the podium, barring the with the fact that he got the he had the 5 seconds go penalty and Connor did not, so I can't actually invite Alco. So we'll have to do it another way round. I'll have to do it this way. Do excuse me. And it's over. Right, we're only going to be talking to the top 2 tonight because obviously Blazon K left the session, but it's going to be really interesting to see how many drivers are going to be here to listen to it. And there's a long, long message from Alex to me saying that he's not happy. Luke Beck joining us though tonight. Just to check, mate, have you got your voice set to share?
Double checking. Yeah, all's allow.
Brilliant. And shall we just check? Alco, have you got your voice set to share?
Yeah, yes.
Brilliant. So we'll start with you, Alco, because we're not having Blazon K with us tonight because he left the session. But Alco, P3, after such a strong race in P1, it went well, didn't it?
Yeah, it went really well. Better than I expected, of course. From my starting position in 12th, I wasn't expecting leading the race so much time. I had a great battle with Pro Oliver. His driving was fantastic. I'm only skeptical to my position because of Connor's finish ahead of me, and I had a 5-second penalty. I don't know how I finished in third and him in fourth. I have to look down for that.
Well, we shall see, obviously, what the stewards decide with that. But all in all, mate, how was that race for you? You seemed to control it from when you were in P1, and it all just slipped away on tyres. I think without the tyres degrading, you would have been fine.
Yeah, my tires went to starts to falling off when Luke catch my back and pass me. I was trying to defend it with all the things I have, but it was impossible. Then it was Blaze, and then the second place passed me too. Yeah, Blaze, it was Blaze. And I realized I can't compete with them on the softest tire, not on the softest, on the soft tires. So I started to protect the P3, and then Connor appeared again, and he passed me. But luckily, I finished in the podium. I don't know how, but that's a gift from the gods, I think.
So, just moving on, because next week being a revised calendar, next week we're off to Austria. Are you confident you'll have a nice, fun time over in Austria and maybe repeat the position? Or do one better?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll be this better. I hope I go to the highest step of the podium now. It's a fast circuit, a small circuit also. It's very dependable on downforce and suspension, so we'll try next week to get even better than this week.
All right, so if I could just ask you to hold on while I go and talk over to our race winner. We'll have a chat with you again at the end. Luke, you haven't scored any points of the season. You started in
No.
6th, and then you go and
Yes.
win the race. I mean, how does that feel?
Not bad going really at all, is it?
It's
No, I
brilliant.
felt Australia I was a bit unlucky after the safety car restart, so I had to shrug that off. Bahrain, probably the worst track for me personally. So onwards and upwards from here. I expect for myself to be here a few more times. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So anything you could have done better that race? You were attacking all the way through the race. You felt comfortable with the car. I think.
Not
Were
as
you happy
comfortable
about
as not as comfortable as I'd like to be. I did chew through tyres pretty quickly. I weren't too happy with it. I was going to stick the mediums till the end, but then I watched Blaz and Connor fall into the pits, and I thought, you know what, if I just mimic them, they shouldn't have a 10-second undercut on me. I should hold it. And I completely forgot about Alco on the one stop. So as soon as they soon passed me in the pits, I thought, oof, 9 laps. But yeah, thankfully their tyres fell off and mine just about held on towards the end.
So you can thank God Colours because he actually was the one driver that called you to win the Grand Prix from P6. I mean, well done for God Colours with winning the bets, wasn't it?
Yeah, spot on. Nice one.
So with Austria next week, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I enjoy the track. Yeah, I do enjoy it. So onwards and upwards. It's just I find with this 2018, it's, as long as you know your strategy and your start, you don't have to be on the pole to win it. You really don't. Like it's just solid, and it's being risky going on to a 2-stop. People find they have to 1-stop to be able to keep out in front, but it proves the 2-stops can work.
So this is a question to both drivers. We're going to start with Alco, then go to you, Luke. You've had a look at the revised calendar that the stewards and myself worked with all the circuit staff. Do you like the look of it? Starting with you, Alco.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
You've had a look at the new calendar, the revised calendar for the end of the 2018 game due to the 2019 game coming out too early for our liking. How do you like the rearrangement of some of the tracks and the dropping of some others?
I don't mind with the revised calendar. Also, I enjoy it more. It's less races and it's with the circuits I like the most. The only circuit I'm a little bit ashamed of not being in it. It's Monaco, but not or almost all of the guys don't like Monaco because it's too tight and not a very passing circuit. So for me, it's okay. I like it how it is.
Right, and you, Luke?
Yeah, it's okay. It's me, like he said, missing Monaco, one of my favourites, one of my personal favourites to drive. So it was gutting not seeing Monaco there, and Singapore. But otherwise, yeah, I'm reasonably happy with it. Glad it's finished in Brazil. Bit of a throwback.
Well, yes, Abu Dhabi and us had a bit of a rocky relationship after last season's end in GP2, so we decided that we'd leave Abu Dhabi and we'd rejoin that in 2019, in the 2019 Formula 1 game. But congratulations to both of these gentlemen, and congratulations to Blasem K, who finished on the podium but was unable to join us on microphone. But yes, you guys are now free to leave and go drink whatever champagne you like to have, or go have some fun in China.
Thank you very much.
What an absolutely phenomenal Grand Prix as we say goodbye to the podium sitters. Yes, tomorrow night I will be... Actually, tonight, later on, I think I'll be recording a video on this game, announcing the full calendar for the rest of the season. Tonight we've seen China. We shall see, next week we'll be at Austria. But on the racing monitor, out of this, in the Shanghai International Circuit, I've really enjoyed tonight. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So yes, we'll see you all tomorrow for GP2, because SFR is not done. We're racing still here in China, and see what GP2 can get up to with some new faces and old names coming back. And we can see what happens. I really urge you, if you're a long-time fan of SFR, come and have a look at that tomorrow's stream. You'll see some old names, and particularly one of my old teammates is back, and I don't know how I feel about it. But yes, we'll see you on tomorrow I'll be joined with Alex on Primo Rex, who I'm going to have a chat to in a minute, on commentary. So yes, thank you to everyone so much for watching. Thank you for being so active in the chat tonight. It's been really nice and fun to engage with the fans. My name is JB. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Ta-ra, guys.